Hello and welcome to the White Collar Fitness Radio, the ultimate podcast for professionals striving to achieve optimal performance in today's fast-paced age. I'm your host, Bruno Dalladoni, online body transformation specialist and founder of the Health Coach Fitness. I'm here to help you optimize your health and fitness, even if you're short on time. What's up, everyone? Today, we're discussing how to make fitness less appearance focused. So, to start off with, I think we should really take a second to think about what we mean by fitness. For me, the way I like to think about fitness is really about having the ability to perform. So, if we're talking mental fitness, then the ability to perform mental tasks, be sharp, not have brain fog, all of those things. But more broadly, obviously, fitness, the ability to do stuff with your body without having much to stop you or having much to slow you down, let's say. So I like to think of fitness as being goal specific. Naturally, most people, when they think of fitness, they think about being cardiovascularly fit, as in being able to go for a run, walk up some stairs and not, be puffed out, whatever. But a lot of people also associate that fitness with physical appearance. And that's fine to some degree, but realize that the people, I would hazard a guess, a solid 80% of your Instagram influencers that have six packs on their eyelids, they're peeled all the time, or at least whenever you see them, that's not really the reality. And I'm going to come back to this because this is a point that I really want to hammer home today. But I can also guarantee you that about 80% of those people, they wouldn't be able to go up the stairs without blowing out a left lung. Because not only are they so lean, they're usually unhealthy, but also most people that train like that and they lift weights heavy, the fitness industry has, by and large, an aversion to cardio. People don't enjoy cardio. Cardio sucks, to be honest. So people get themselves to a level of physique that they are happy that if, they are, in fact, a fitness professional on Instagram and they rely on their physique to make sales or on their physique to come across as credible or to build trust with the consumer, then having a six-pack is important. They'll get themselves to that level and stop doing cardio because cardio sucks. So, understand that a lot of those people that you might perceive to be fit, cardiovascularly fit, might not in fact be either fit or healthy. So that's just a point that I think is important to make and hammer home a little bit. And then, obviously being healthy does require a baseline level of leanness, right? Now, this is also a spectrum. So I don't want to deviate too much into the healthy versus fit sort of aspect here. But, if we're talking fitness, if we're talking being just generally able to do stuff, that also does require a baseline level of health. And to have that baseline level of health, try saying that fast 3 times. You also need to have a baseline level of leanness, right? You can't be massively overweight, but that also does mean that you can't be massively lean. As in, if you're in single digit body fat, that's not actually healthy. That's not good for you long term anyway. So understand that there is a happy medium where maybe you're a little bit soft around the edges. Maybe you've got a little bit of cushion for the pushing, huh? But that's okay. as long as you can perform in the areas of life you want to perform, then that's cool. So understand that, like, you don't have to lift weights. You don't have to, do formal, like, you don't have to be a runner. You can choose either sports or aspects of training that enhance your fitness in the area that you're interested in. I think this is really important to hammer home. If you're a martial artist, then do martial arts. That will maintain you at a base level of fitness for you to perform where you want to perform. If you're a dancer, do more of that. Now, of course, if you want to take it a bit more seriously and break through some plateaus or push to a next level, whatever that might be, adding some weights, adding some form of cardio might come in handy, but it's in the service of what you want to do that interests you, therefore improving your fitness in an area of life that is important to you. And, like for me, I feel like this isn't spoken about enough in these terms. You go on social media, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. To be honest, I haven't been on Facebook in the best part of about a year and a half, so I don't really know what's going on there. But you go on social media and you see so many people that are either trying to sell you a dream because they themselves are just genetically gifted and they have never been either underweight or overweight. They've always just been lean. They've always just done some sports. And then they started training and now they look amazing. And they are trying to sell you a dream based on an experience they haven't had. Or they're trying to really lie to you by pretending that their life consists of something it doesn't. And I think we sometimes lose track or lose sight of the fact that social media isn't real life. Bit of a personal anecdote. I used to know a girl who did a lot of dancing as a young teen and got very good at it. And every time I hadn't spoken to her properly in years, but every time I looked at her social media just to see, how she was getting on, or she came up or whatever, she seemed to be doing amazing. She'd been traveling the world. She'd done some amazing things. Anyway, I dropped her a message via social media and I slid into her DMs, as it were, grab a coffee, and we sit. We used to be quite close when we were younger. So, message her, we grab a coffee. She proceeds to tell me that she'd been on antidepressants. So, social media isn't really what you see, or at least it's not the full picture. So remember that when you're looking at, at your favorite influencer and they're shredded, and just think, okay, well, but maybe that's not the full reality. And something that the fitness industry as a whole is very, very guilty for is driving that. Now, my personal bias is to believe that the reason for that is because sex sells and everybody likes to look at people that are hot. So whether you're a girl and you've got a huge ass, or whether you're a dude and you've got enormous pecs and a six-pack, the physical appearance, the physical attractiveness of these people, like it's awesome. Like, good for them. Don't think I'm hating on them. Like, awesome for them. And like I said earlier, it probably helps them drive their business. They probably make a lot of sales off of the back of that. But realize that if you get so lean, things start going wrong. You need body fat. Your body is not designed to be so lean. So you end up with compromised libido. Sex drive just goes. It's just, you don't have the energy for it. If you're a dude and you're looking, to to be like mega lean, well, just know that you're not going to be getting hard. There's a high likelihood that, if you stay so lean for a period of time, you might just not be able to get erections anymore. Not forever, obviously, but for that period of time. Women, a lot of them stop having their periods, and it's because you need body fat. And if you don't have enough body fat, systems start going wrong in your body. So understand now, just caveat that stuff usually comes back. Sometimes it takes a long time for it to come back. So, when you see your favorite bodybuilder on stage, they're tired, they're cold, they're hungry, they're probably not getting hard. Their missus is unsatisfied because they haven't had sex for 2 months. Just know that, sometimes the ideal isn't what you think it is. So, I think from where I stand, I think as an industry, we could definitely do better in terms of looking at fitness more holistically. But for you individually, I think when you think about fitness, first of all, don't compare yourself to other people, because if you try to compare and imitate someone else, you're going to end up where they are going, and where they're going might not be where you want to go. So that's number one. Number two is, and I keep driving this almost every episode I've done, I've spoken about having goals. Now, your goal can also be just to be able to run around with your kids. That is a thing. But having some clarity of why you're training or why you're doing anything, I think is really, really important, so that you can then moderate and modulate the actions you take to actually get the outcome you want. So, take a second if you haven't already. Figure out why it is that you want to train, what level of fitness you require for that in terms of running around with your kids. Is a different level of fitness required to doing jiu-jitsu, or to, I don't know, running ultra marathons for fun because you enjoy them. So figure out what level of fitness you need for the goals you have, and then use that as a standard. Benchmark against yourself always, and push forwards. And, realize that the fitness industry as a whole is trash, because we exploit physical attractiveness to sell products. And I say we because I am in the fitness industry, although if you follow my Instagram, or you follow me, or you know me, you know that I try to be as open as possible. You notice throughout the podcast, if you've been listening, that I never make just hard statements. I always leave things open, possibly, maybe, could do with, because I don't think that, there's very little science that is settled where it comes to the body and where it comes to a lot of this stuff. So, allowing ourselves a little bit of play room for future corrections when new science, new development in the fitness industry develops, I think is good. So I do try to be as honest as I can, but as an industry, we do leave a lot to be desired. If you agree with that, guys, share it with your friends. If this has been an interesting episode, as always, rate it 5 stars, share far and wide, so that we can start getting a few more listeners. If you guys have any feedback, please DM me at Bruno Dalladoni on Instagram. And if you have any questions at all, do that as well. Thank you very much for listening, and I will catch you guys next time.